joining me and the Old Grumpy Prosperity team for this week's episode of Grow Your Mind and Money. Now, tonight we're interviewing Denise Hamilton. She is the CEO and founder of Watch Her Work. Yes. Now, Denise has experienced the other side of the mountain, the valley, and the mountaintop, and has used those challenges to mentor and provide opportunities to women and professionals of all types to succeed and exceed expectations. And Denise is a champion for humanity. And as you guys know, it is time for a little spoken show from none other than Shani, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry.
Oh, Quiet Storm, that was a great introduction, but it looks like Shani is still on the road. She's trying to make it into the studio, but she did send a piece of poetry from one of her favorite poets. We have a selection from Baritone, a little thing he calls My Poetic Purpose. That mic is hot.
I am the seed of King David, the son of the Lion of the tribe of Judah, and heir to the land made without hands. I am Abraham's beneficiary. I am God's poet, and this is my poetic purpose. My poetic purpose is to systematically serenade your soul and soothe your spirit with anointed exaltations given to me by the Father to give to you, my sisters and brothers, in hopes that I could say something that would cause you to contemplate or meditate about, get your life straight, and after I minister, can't wait to go and tell others. If you would incline your ear to these words I spit, you see when the spotlight hits, the spirit is moving, then I exhale. I paint pictures of my emotion to give the vision with the story I tell, so that means I can cater to any crowd, however you want it, sign language or braille. My poetic purpose is to bless his holy name every night and day, give him my undivided attention every time I pray, ask him to take charge of my thoughts, control the things I say, to thank him in advance because I know he's making a way. My poetic purpose is to reach all brothers in jail cells and let them know to keep their head up and don't look down. And just because you're shackled in the physical, spiritually you don't have to be bound. Let your voice ring out like the sound of 10,000 cymbals, shouting the name Jesus, shaking the very foundation where you stand and making every demon tremble. My poetic purpose is to make disciples of men, to ask them to search themselves from deep within, to let them know that we all have sinned and fell short of his glory. But it's your testimony that will make another brother bold enough to get up and tell the story. My poetic purpose is to seek Solomon for wisdom from Proverbs, to read the prophetic words of Isaiah and Zechariah, to have the spirit of Jesus when I'm tempted by Satan and tell the devil that he's a liar. To have the faith of Abraham, and God instructs me to do something that my flesh cannot comprehend. To look to the sky and think to myself, oh, what a friend. My poetic purpose is to mean what I say and say what I mean, to sit the uncompromising gospel of my Savior, my Lord, my King. Y'all don't hear me. My poetic purpose is to mean what I say and to say what I mean, to sit the uncompromising gospel of my Savior, my Lord, my King. My poetic purpose is to build a legacy for my children's children to see that their granddaddy was a P-O-E-T on the M-I-C for G-O-D. My poetic purpose before I leave this room is to have your spirits just like that burning bush on fire but not consumed. My poetic purpose is to decrease so that he may increase, so I'm about to end this piece. My poetic purpose is to get you to see that it's the God in me when speaking so eloquently I am furnished cerebrally with all the right things to say. My heavenly Father is the potter and I am the clay.
Snap, snap, toe tap. Baritone with My Poetic Purpose. Now, before we continue, I do have a little money-making thought for us today. Eventually, it will. You don't have to get the desired result from every single effort. Even if just a small percentage of your efforts pay off, you can achieve spectacular success. There's no need to get dejected when you take an action and it fails to produce results. Just Do it again and again until it does bring a positive, valuable outcome. Often, the way to succeed is to fail enough times. The way to get it right is to get it wrong enough times. Those who enjoy the most success are also those who have endured a lot of disappointing results. Even when you fall short of the goal, you're closer to that goal than you were before. Certainly, there's no reason to purposely seek out disappointing results, but there's also no reason to let them get you down. What I've learned about myself and growing my mind when it comes to the theme, eventually it will, and the action I will take is, I've learned that if I put one foot in front of each other and keep stepping, sooner or later, I actually do reach my destination. And the action I will take is to sit down this week and actually put on paper the next actions I need to take to have what I want be successful and fulfilled. Now, I'll see you later on in the show, but right now, it's time for our special interview with Denise Hamilton. Watch her work. Nakia, over to you.
All right, Ronnie B. Awesome. Well, in this part of the show, we will learn about a challenge Denise faced in having her dreams fulfilled, a challenge that knocked the winds out of her sails. Somehow, some way, she kept going and turned that challenge from seeming defeat to victory. Denise, thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm really looking forward to all of your sharing and transparency tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward so we can be mindful of our time. Can you please share with us, Denise, an incident or time in your life that knocked the wind out of your sails when the going got even rougher and you felt like you were lost? Please be as specific as possible so we can truly appreciate what you were experiencing.
I'm happy to. I think it's so important to be honest and to share your real experiences so that people can see that you can get on the other side of crisis. I moved to Houston about 11 years ago, started Jones Magazine with my college roommate. Jones is a shopping guide for multicultural women that we ultimately sold to Londell Macmillan in New York. But at the time, we were two little black girls, two little single moms who thought we were going to start this national magazine, and everyone told us we couldn't do it. How are you going to pull it off? You can't do it from Houston, Texas. And we did it. And we were in big preparation for our launch party, and we were excited, and we thought we had the world by the tail. I recently moved to Houston so that we could start the magazine, and my daughter was in her second week, starting her second week at Lanier Middle School, brand new to Houston. When she came home, she had been assaulted. She'd been pushed into a chalkboard by a bully at school.
Wow.
And the first day, her knee just hurt. And the next day, it was her knee and her shin. And then it was her knee and her shin and her thigh and her foot. And by the end of the week, from the tip of her toe to her hip was an excruciating pain. We were going from doctor to doctor. One doctor put it in a cast. Another doctor took it out. And nobody knew what it was. Literally, we were in an emergency room, and another doctor, who wasn't our doctor, walking by, overheard the conversation about her condition. And he said, "Hey, I think it might be this thing I heard about in a seminar last week." You know, that's people who say they don't believe in God. I want to have a conversation with them. Because that's how we got our diagnosis. And her illness is one of the rarest diseases. As a matter of fact, at the time of her illness, she was the only African-American teenager on record that had this condition. So, I'm a single mom. I'm launching a brand new business. I am trying to survive. I'm trying to make it, and I have this child with the most painful disease on record. And when you talk about feeling lost, there are definitely times that I felt lost. How am I going to do this? How am I going to overcome this? And when I look back on it, I know that it's nothing short of a miracle. That she's totally fine now. She's totally fine now. We got on the other side of her illness, but it definitely took a toll on my career, on my relationships, on my finances. Every element of my life was under attack. And I'd have to say that is the defining experience of my life.
Wow. That is, wow. Wow.
Yeah. But the story has a happy ending.
Well, absolutely. But, I mean, I'm sure parents, especially single parents, not taking anything away from married couples with children, can truly appreciate understanding going through storms when, seem like the world is against you. You have your 2 feet to stand on and pulling it for your child as well. So during that time that you were dealing with this situation, did you blame other people? Did you your circumstances, yourself?
For about a minute, I wanted to blame the young boy that pushed her. I remember his parents brought him over to visit her because we had to pull her out of school. I mean, it was a horrific situation. And I remember his mother had brought her some flowers. And when she walked in, the flowers were trembling. They were just shaking because she was horrified. She was horrified. The school asked me, did I want to press charges? And I looked at this young boy who could not have anticipated this kind of reaction. It's a fluke situation that was triggered. This was not his intent. Was his intent good? No. But this was not what he intended to happen. That's not how I live my life. You have to, I think, look at situations for what they are, and it is a waste of precious, valuable energy to spread blame around and to focus there instead of focus on the result and the course of action that you need to get that result.
Wow. So I take it at that moment, that was the moment that you stopped caring about who or what to blame and just looked at it, like you said, for what it was.
Yeah, I believe that energy is finite, right? You only have so much. And so often we waste it. Precious energy is wasted just like throwing water on the ground, on mourning situations, on anger, on resentment, on jealousy. You need to run your race. You need to climb your mountains. You need to figure out how to, bridge that chasm that's in front of you. You don't have time. I didn't have time to blame anybody. I had to focus and make sure that my child came out of this situation and came on the other side. I believe that you don't solve or serve anything by focusing on the negative.
Okay.
You've got to focus that energy on the positive.
Okay, excellent. So that leads me to my next question for you about starting to see the light of hope and possibility and taking the steps towards that journey, towards that light. What steps did you take?
Well, I'll tell you about the deepest, darkest moment and why it's important to sow seeds and to continue to move forward even when you don't feel like it's going to work. I went to Texas Children's with my daughter, and we had come to a point that my daughter literally said to me, "Mom, can we cut my leg off?"
Oh my God!
Because can you imagine? Because she was just miserable, and so there was a point when it spread to both legs. It had always been only in her left leg, and then it spread to both legs. And I went to Texas Children's, like, what are we going to do? And they said, well, we have a couple options. We can do brain surgery and put a pain pump in her brain, or we can do a induced coma, basically shut her brain off and turn it back on and see if the nerve centers will normalize. Neither one of those options sounded good to me. and I remember going home that day with complete despair. I mean, there's no other word that I could use. And I'm sitting in my house by myself, like, what am I going to do? And I had written to the Association for Her Illness, and they had sent a packet, and it came that day. And on the top of it, it was brochures and information and newsletters. And the top of it, there was a brochure that was called Pain. So I picked it up and I started reading it. And there was a poem written by another 16-year-old girl, because by this time she was 16. And I thought, wow, it would be amazing. Her email address was at the bottom. I said, let me get them together so they can talk about it. Like, nobody understands this illness. So wouldn't that be amazing? And, man, I reached out to this young woman. Come to find out, she's 23. She wrote that poem many years ago. She's 23. She's finishing medical school, and she just ran a marathon.
Wow.
Wow. And she told us, get to this doctor in Corpus Christi that, he specializes in this very, very rare disease. She went to him, and she never had another problem. And let me say to you, that's exactly what we did, and that's exactly what happened. She has never had another problem since. What if I hadn't made that call, requested that information? What if I had let my despair stop me from reading the information? Mm-hmm. What if, right? There's so many points that discouragement could have taken over the situation. But instead, I just kept making steps and making moves, even though I didn't know if it was going to yield anything. And I just think that is so important, that it was the key to really getting her beyond this illness.
Wow. That is...
And I think there's another part of the story I definitely want to share. I think it's super important. When I went to the specialist and I told them, hey, I found this young woman and she's healthy and this is the doctor she went to, they wouldn't even consider it. They wouldn't listen. They never heard of him. Let's just keep talking about these surgical options.
Wow.
And right, I couldn't believe that, and it took incredible courage. I think of myself now, this is obviously several years ago, and the courage it took to go against these specialists. And I'm going to go with the girl who just ran the marathon. That's who I'm going to go with. And I called the Ronald McDonald House because the treatment required me to stay in Corpus Christi for 45 days. I called the Ronald McDonald House to get housing while she was receiving treatment. And I said, yeah, we're going to see this particular doctor. And the woman on the phone says, oh, you're so lucky. People come here and they are suffering. Their kids are suffering, and they all leave here and they're fine. Mm-hmm. And you can imagine what that was to me. That woman didn't know how she blessed my life because I was afraid. I'm taking a risk. I'm going against what these particular doctors are telling me to do, and it was that extra push that let me know this is the right course of action. And I guess the lesson I take from that in my life is don't be afraid to disagree with experts. Don't be afraid to step out and follow your gut and trust your instincts. Like, you've been given those instincts for a reason. They're powerful. And, you should try to have the courage to act on them.
Wow. Well, Denise, have another question for you. And before asking that question, can you give us a name of that disease for anybody who may be listening, so they can have an understanding of that disease? Because we never know who else might have gone through it or may be going through a similar circumstance but don't know.
It's called reflexive sympathetic dystrophy, RSD. And it's also called complex regional pain syndrome. And basically what it is your nerve centers. When he pushed her into the chalkboard, the ledge hit her knee at a nerve center and basically short-circuited her nervous system. So her body always thought it was in pain. It was always in trauma. And it's I feel incredibly blessed to be on the other side of it, because, there's a lot of people who end up on disability for the rest of their lives. Because, there's nothing worse than a disease that is extremely painful. It changes you. It changes your psyche. It changes your optimism, changes everything about you. So I feel incredibly blessed to be on the other side of it.
Thank you. And I have one last question for you, and then we're going to move on because we have a lot more going on in the short show. However, I definitely thank you for sharing just an enormous experience that you've gone through. So thinking about our theme, eventually it will. What words of wisdom will you share with our listeners? And you've already given us some words of wisdom. However, just being clear on that theme, eventually it will. What can you share?
I think that the most important thing you can do for your life is to really clearly establish your goals, what you want to have happen, and to create what your plan is to reach that goal. If I'm trying to lose weight, and I have a goal that I'm going to lose 10 pounds, it makes it easier to step away from the cookies and the cake, because I know I have this goal and this is what I'm trying to accomplish and this is why. If I'm trying to buy a house, it's easy to skip out on, pass on the movie night and just watch something on Netflix or watch something out of Redbox because I know I have a bigger, broader goal, and my sacrifices are not in vain. They're working towards my bigger dream. Eventually it will really work in direct partnership with that. Like, you have to believe that you can accomplish it. I counseled someone last year that had 27 credit cards and had a credit balance, a credit score of 500. And, she thought that was about money and having money. I said, that's not about money. That's about faith. That's about what you believe and how you see yourself and what you think is possible. So we sat down and we made a schedule of all her debt and all of the interest rates and all of the balances and everything. And right now, today, she's completely debt free.
Wow.
And she probably makes maybe $5,000 more than she made when we started this journey, because it's not about money. It's about belief. If you don't believe you'll ever have anything, that's why you'll go buy a bag you can't afford. You'll go get sneakers that you can't afford. Because why do you do that? You do that because you think this is all you're ever going to have. So I'm going to grab a little piece of happiness. Well, I believe there are so many amazing things in store for me that the least I can do is take those steps every single day and have faith and belief that eventually it will come to pass.
Wow, that is powerful and an excellent transition into Miss Cookie speaking during a Prosperous Spirit moment. So, Denise, before I move on to her, I definitely want to say again, thank you for sharing. But right now, we're going to hear more from you, Denise, a little bit later on in the show, and listen to the Prosperous Spirit with Miss Cookie.
Thank you, Nakia. Gratitude releases a powerful flow of good in my life. My optimism and grateful heart are sources of strength for me. If I have a medical test, I expect the results to show I am in good health. I know a change in plan is a change for the better, and I patiently await answers to prayers, trusting in divine order. I confidently seek new opportunities and try new things. I give thanks for what I desire before I receive it. My attitude of gratitude releases a powerful flow of God's good in every area of my life. My grateful heart is an open vessel into which God's blessings flow. Good flows to me and through me. I may receive unexpected income, discover a new hobby, or run into a long-lost friend. Wonderful things occur in my state of attitude and grace. Shani, take us to break.
Stay tuned for The Kitchen with Miss Cookie and Quiet Storm featuring music from Lindsay Webster on the Korner.
Oh, beautiful, just beautiful. Oh, how adorable is that?
Edible Arrangements has a fresh fruit bouquet to make any occasion special. Our bouquets are made with fresh premium fruit, arranged in a variety of stunning displays. Make every occasion special with Edible Arrangements. Guys, the baby's over here.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay, yes.
And don't even think about touching my edible arrangements.
For pickup or delivery nationwide, call 877-DO-FRUIT, 877-DO-FRUIT, or go to ediblearrangement.com. That's ediblearrangement.com.
Yeah. Oh, my. What a nice looking baby you've got there.
Make all your special moments. Moments with Edible Arrangements.
Welcome back. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and you better believe that we do it out of love. Okay, so something smells great. I think it's the dish Miss Cookie has been whipping up in that kitchen. Miss Cookie, what you got going on over there?
Thank you, Shani, and welcome to the kitchen. We have a great recipe to feed those hearty appetites that have been working diligently on growing their minds and money. Tonight we have a Thai steak salad. It's one of my favorite summer dishes when I'm in the mood for Asian cuisine. It's great for the afternoon or evening. When you want a dish that can be served at room temperature or chilled, it's great even when made ahead and keep in the refrigerator to eat the next day. To give my dish more substance, I make a side dish, vermicelli noodles to go with it. Get those pens and paper handy. Here comes your ingredients. For the salad, you will need 1 pound of London broil, 1 inch thick, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1 clove of garlic minced, a half a teaspoon of grated ginger, 1 bag, 16 ounces of coleslaw mix. If you're in the mood, you can make your coleslaw mix yourself. A half a bunch of green onion sliced, 1 medium carrot grated. And for the dressing, you will need 1/4 cup of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 3/4 tablespoon of grated ginger, a half a teaspoon of salt. Directions. You will need, in a large resealable plastic bag, combine the London broil with soy sauce, vegetable oil, garlic, and ginger. Refrigerate that several hours. Heat your grill pan over high heat. Cook the steak 6 minutes. Turn it over and cook 6 more minutes for medium rare. Take it off and let it rest. In a large bowl, combine the coleslaw mix, green onions and carrots. In a small saucepan, combine all the dressing ingredients. Heat to a boiling over medium-high heat, stirring until sugar dissolves. Toss the warm dressing with vegetable oil. Cut the steak into thin slices and add to the salad. Eat and enjoy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And the bag coleslaw, if you want to use that, make this a quick dinner to prepare. The longer you marinate the beef, the tastier it gets for this main dish salad. And now it's time for the corner with Quiet Storm. Let's give a smooch and a rose.
Thank you, Miss Cookie. Well, tonight we are featuring music from Lindsay Webster. She is out of Woodstock, New York, with her album Lindsay Webster. And as you know, we asked the team to vote whether the tracks we play should get a smooch and a rose or if they really need more fertilizing. And with that, we're going to hear our first track, which is called Be Cool. That was Be Cool. And we're going right to our panel to find out what they think about that. Is the track getting a smooch and a rose or some free fertilizer? And I would like to start with none other than Shani, if you don't mind, Shani.
I actually really, really like that music. That track was super awesome. I'm going to give it a Smooch and a Rose.
Oh, okay. Well, she says it's super awesome. Smooch and a Rose. And we're going from that Smooch and a Rose to the Empress herself, Miss Nakia.
Yes, ma'am. It reminded me of another song. I just can't put my finger on it. However, I really did like it. It was relaxing. It kept my attention. And you know, if it keeps my attention, I'm going to have to give it a Smooch and a Rose. If it don't, I'm going to have to fertilize it. So it was nice. I really enjoyed it. It was a good piece for the content of the show tonight.
Okay. All right. Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie, I know you've heard this one before.
Yes, I'm going to give her a Smooch and a Rose. She had a little touch of Nina in there, and it was relaxing.
Wait a minute. What? I'm sorry. She had a little touch of Nina Simone in there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the rhythm, the sound, wasn't it?
Okay. I'm just a little bit more strict. Okay. Well, let's tell other people what to think. And we definitely want to know what our guest thinks. Guest.
I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay. So smooches and roses. All right. Mr. Ronnie B. We heard what Denise had to say. What do you have to say?
Well, coming from a hip place, the girl can sing. The girl can sing. I have to give her that. And the band ain't too bad either. They put it together. I think the thing that I really liked is that the music didn't overpower the singer. The singer didn't overpower the music. They blended it real. And actually, that was a long track.
It was. Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, a long track fails badly. But she kept it going all the way through. I thought, hey, smooches and roses all over from here.
Okay, all right. Well, it was smooches and roses across the board, folks. And we do have yet another top choice coming up. In fact, this next tune is called Choices by the same artist. Let's see.
We all have a story. Each will differ from you to me. Decisions we make from day to day determine the future we will lead. So take time with your choices. And what do you do from day to day? Remember, all actions cause a chain reaction. And I miss you now you've gone away. All the people you've touched can feel you now. Because your presence is beyond reach. But I can still hear your laughter calling after me. And I So take time with your choices and what you do from day to day. Remember, all actions cause a chain reaction, and I miss you now. I miss you now. I miss you now. You gone away. Oh, oh,
That was Choices from Lindsay Webster. And we are going right back to our panel to find out what they thought about that track. And I would like to start with, you guessed it, Nakia.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful voice, music, melody, just absolutely beautiful. Pulled on my heartstrings, smooches, and many roses for that young lady.
All right, that was well said. Okay, Smooches and Roses for Choices. And let's find out what Denise thinks. Denise.
Even better than the last one. Incredibly talented, and you could feel her heart in that song. 2 smooches and a rose.
All right, two smooches and a rose. Miss Shani.
Yes. I actually, the artist this week is like phenomenal. I have truly enjoyed her music. So I have to give her lots of smooches and roses because that was awesome. That was awesome.
Okay, all right. And we definitely want to know what Miss Cookie thinks. Miss Cookie.
It's refreshing to have an artist that has something to present to us that's not garbage. She deserves a dozen roses and smoothies from me.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. A strong and ringing endorsement. In fact, if you tune in to the show, then you know. Mr. Ronnie.
Well, remember, we give everybody a shot. Now, they might end up getting fertilized, but we do give everybody a shot. Everybody gets a chance. Definitely, I was going to raise Denise 2 smooches and roses and do 4, but Miss Cookie whipped out a dozen, so I'm just left. I'm looking at all the roses that got taken out the bin there. So I'm giving her a smooch and a rose, and also want to send much love to Lindsay Webster, who is our first and only at the moment. She was the Smooches and Roses champion.
Wow.
Grow Your Mind and Money 2013. So the awesome lady, and I'm biased because she sang happy birthday to me on the air, and that girl does a mean happy birthday. Smooches and roses.
Keep it up.
All right. Well, that was a big hit, and the panel was very generous. But if you liked what you heard from Lindsay Webster, you can check her out at LindsayWebsterMusic.com.
All right. Well, up next, Shawnee's Sunshine Lounge, the interview with Denise Hamilton, and Voices from the Ethers. Please stay tuned.
Yeah. Pay someone to give me coaching when what I need is to make more money. Let's get real. You are already making money if you can afford to pay a so-called coach to get you to the next level. Ever hear the old saying, those who can, do. Those who can't, coach. Seems like a whole bunch of so-called life or business coaches do nothing but sell the need for coaching. I was more than skeptical when it came to paying a coach to help me make more money in my business. Margaret Bassant's Elegant Coaching is about fulfilling desires now, not later, which blew me away. Week 1, I am critical, suspicious, skeptical, and disagreeable. Margaret trains us on seeing what is hidden from our view. Week 2, I am beginning to pinpoint the exact actions I take when making the moves critical to growing my business that are keeping it from growing wildly. I am less skeptical, critical, and suspicious. Margaret trains us how to put the past in the past and bring completion to decisions that are impacting our present and future effectiveness. Week 3, my company doubled its sales income and I made a lot more money, a lot more. I want more coaching. Margaret Bassant's Elegant Coaching, fulfilling desires now, not later.
Well, we do give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and you know we do it all from and with love. Well, right now it's time to visit the lounge with Shawnee. Take it away.
Thank you, Quiet Storm. Hey, 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 it's Shawnee the Poet, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry. Welcome to Shawnee's Sunshine Lounge, where we feature a mixture of goodies that will stimulate your mind and, baby, maybe even having you tapping your feet. Tonight, we have an awesome poet, Nego True, performing Daddy, Are You Proud of Me? Hey, DJ, that mic is hot.
To us growing up, they probably think we forgot. But as kids, we soak in those words you said when you were cross. You see, I forgive, I don't forget. I live, I don't regret. And they might call me soft for writing this, you see, but I just got one question and maybe then I'll be free. Daddy, are you proud of me? Juice in my cup, holding back tears in my eyes. I heard your mum arguing again non-stop through the night. I know it was about money. We've never really had a dime. And I'm too young to work, so I'm considering crime. I figured if I can provide for me, then you won't have to. I used to take your money when it was laying on the dresser. Maybe this is my fault too. I don't know. Maybe I can buy myself my old school uniform, even give back to you. And if I'm honest, I don't want to live that life, but I don't know. Maybe if you and mum have money, then you'll stick around this time. Maybe you'll be here on my birthday. Maybe mum won't cry. So I'm looking in the mirror like this ain't drug money. This dad couldn't do it. I still had to feed my mum money. So I feed me now so you and mum can breathe. Daddy, are you proud of me? See, sending money and spending time are not the same thing. Because mum played dad while you were looking after other women's kids. And you could skip the once-a-year calls on my birthday. I'd rather know if you meant to have me in the first place. See, mum's always out working to provide. And sometimes she goes over the top with how she disciplines, but then I sit and think she has to play the man and woman without the help of a guy. See, sometimes I wish you were here. But it's better that you're not if I'm real with it. Because you claim you love me. But I saw you constantly make my mum upset. Then one day disappear and you left me to deal with it. And you want to know why I'm an idiot? Because I'm with someone now. And they're just like you. Shouting, abusing with that same tongue, asking what's wrong an hour later. Just like you. Doesn't understand that respect and fear are not the same thing. just like you. And when my friends are telling me that I need to up and leave, and I bring it to convo, I start to sit and think, I don't think letting go is being free, because this must be love. I mean, I learned it from you. And as stupid as it sounds, I still want you to be proud you had me. So I got one question and maybe then I'll be free. Daddy, are you proud of me? I never knew you growing up. Mom never really mentioned you. And it's not that I hate you, but if I had to choose the father of the year between you and Mum, then I choose everyone but you. You told me be everything I can be when I finally met you. I used to sit and think I want to be a father, but not like you. Grow up to be a man, but not like you. You know how many men would have killed to have a wife like yours, but not a dad like you? So now I'm the man of the house. And if anyone says I resemble my father in the slightest, I tell them that I'm everything that's not you. I'm nothing like you. So I don't have one more question. I'm already free. I couldn't give a damn if you're proud of me. Whiskey in my cup, holding back tears in my eyes. I watched you and learned how to keep all the emotions inside. You know, smile around guests but have no emotions when you're with your family. Some call it pride. People that meet me usually ask how I keep happy all the time. I'm the one that makes all my friends smile. I'm the one they come to for advice. I never tell you what's wrong. I just respond with, I'm cool. Not because you're a bad guy, Dad. I just don't want to disappoint you. So when you say you can tell me anything, I know in my head I can't. Because I've seen how you respond to smaller things and I don't want to take the chance. See, I've got 100 questions that I wish I could ask. But I just keep myself to myself as the memories pass. Headphones in, shut out from the world. I wish I could have hired you when I was a kid. So I could have spent more time with you and did the things that fathers and sons did. I always looked up to you, but you were always out of reach. I saw you as a hero, but you know, some heroes are unseen. You taught me to be hard, and you taught me to believe. I'm the man now, Dad. People listen when I speak. But that's not enough though, is it? Because I see you every day and I still don't know you. See, I studied hard and eventually worked. Even helped out a little bit in your church. Respect and fear are not the same thing. Well, at least I learned that for free. So I just got one more question. Daddy, are you proud of me? Whiskey in my cup, holding back tears in my eyes. Everyone's complaining about their dad, I just wish mine was alive. I never had a lot of memories, but I cherish what I remember. Your sister always tells me stories about you. I know that she won't forget, yo. See, with these relatives say I look just like you. And sometimes I need guidance, so I ask myself what you would do. And if I'm honest, I didn't get to know you how I should have known you, and that's what's really getting to me. But I've done a lot since, Dad. Mum says you'd be proud. But we still in the same flat. One day we'll be out. And I'm not little no more. If only you could see. Sitting by your grave, no one else but you and me. And I want to ask you one question and maybe then I'll be free. Daddy, are you proud of me?
Well, all right.
Things are parallel.
Okay. Panel, that was Nigo True. And we're going to see if he's getting snaps or rotten tomatoes. So I'm going to start with Quiet Storm.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Come on, be truthful.
Negro, please.
I want to hear it all.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure about Negro. Well, I mean, I like the fact that he was daring enough to pin this and, you know, spit it out to the rest of us. That does take a lot of courage. For me, he's, you know, working through some things which people do in their poetry, which is, you know, the cathartic aspect of it. But I was kind of left a little flat with it because I'm not sure is he appreciating his father, whom he repeatedly says he doesn't know and has never known, and he obviously has some conflict with.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he, you know, I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do other than just kind of get it out, which is, you know, good enough. So I appreciate where he's coming from, but I'll say I can appreciate him putting this out there, this piece of work, but I'm not sure where he's coming from. So I'm a little, I won't say confused, but I'm just not sure. Not sure.
So, a Rotten Tomato snap, a half of one.
I don't want to give him a Rotten Tomato. I'll give him a question mark. I'm not.
I didn't know that was an option, but that's a good one.
I didn't know that was an option either.
Well, we just going to slide on over to Miss Cookie.
Well, I got the impression that his father was abusive to him. And he was, although he says his father is no longer living, he is still seeking to get his father's approval for the man he has turned out to be, and that is not a man like his father. So I'll give him a snap.
Okay. Denise, our wonderful guest.
Oh, I was hoping I wasn't next. I'm struggling a little bit too. I think that poem was for him. It wasn't for us, which is fine. You know, I think that he definitely poured out, and the intensity was there. He definitely poured out his feelings about his father and what he's gone through. And I always think it's courageous to share that transparently. So I'll give him an honorary smooch.
I like that. All righty. Ronnie B.
Well, I'm giving them a couple of snaps. I thought it was a deep poem, and he put it together well. He put it together well. And I can feel him that, hey, look, you know, sometimes you ask, Daddy, are you proud of me because you're proud of your daddy? But his was kind of the reverse where, Daddy, would you be proud of me since I'm not proud of you? You know? So I kind of like that little twist there, but I'm giving them a couple of snaps. I like the poem.
Okay, Nakia?
Well, I guess I don't know if I'm playing devil's advocate or what. However, I am giving it some snaps because I think he's speaking, even though he's speaking from his heart, in my opinion, because he's passionate about what he's saying. I feel like he's speaking the truth based on his reality of his life, and he's being transparent, yes. And at the same time, I believe that he's also speaking for so many other young boys and children that don't have a voice or couldn't express their desires to get to know their fathers or mothers in some cases, who've been through abusive relationships or been neglected or, you know, is trying to constantly find that approval and that self-validation through the eyes of their parents, seen and unseen, those that don't have the ability to shout out or be expressive or really speak their hearts to their parents because, one, they don't hear them, although they see them. They have a blinded eye to the realities of the fact that children do have feelings, children do experience, children are exposed, children do have emotions. And sometimes adults don't acknowledge children for who they are and what they are. And they forget that they were once children too. And things they may have experienced themselves, maybe they tucked it away and forgot the realities of their lives, which continued on in the cycle in which they chose to express. You know, so I liked it, and I could really hear and see where he was coming from in a lot of ways. And it's very courageous to be transparent. So, snap.
Okay. Well, all right. So I think that there was it was a piece outside his box, because he felt different emotions in it, and you can tell where he was angry, where he was hurt, where he felt broken. All of that came through in the actual piece. Y'all already know I do not like the funeral music because it completely takes away from it, and it was hard to focus. My focus don't be good. But I got the message. So I am gonna give it a snap Quiet Storm, I'm liking your question mark. That's hilarious. I'll start to focus on that. But I hope that you enjoyed the performance from Migo True. You can check him out on oldgrumpyhouston.com and YouTube. And now it is time to continue with our wonderful interview with Miss Denise Hamilton. Ronnie B., take it away.
Okay.
Thank you, Shani the Poet, Sunshine Princess. And Denise, thank you for your sharing and your willingness to be open and authentic. Now, in this segment, we'll learn more about Denise and some of the challenges she faces in having WatchHerWork.com exceed all expectations. Now, Denise, please share the aha moment when you knew in your heart of hearts that creating WatchHerWork.com was the right thing for you.
Well, first let me tell you what Watch Her Work is. That's probably a good place to start. There came a time that I was getting multiple calls a day. I felt like I was spending 3 to 4 hours a day talking to women about how to succeed professionally, how to overcome adversity, how to climb mountains, how to navigate complicated cultures, just how to get ahead. And people kept saying to me, oh, Denise, you should be a life coach, you should be an executive coach. And that title didn't hang on me because I have a set of experiences. I've worked in multiple industries. I've been blessed to work in Fortune 100 companies and to run my own companies. And I've had a set of experiences that are helpful to some people. But I also believe that about most professional women. Women are all different, and they have different perspectives. And there's not any one right answer of how to solve a problem or how to handle an issue. So I came up with the idea of Watch Her Work, basically to crowdsource wisdom. You have to tell your boss that you're pregnant. How are you going to do that? What should you say? What words, what tone of voice, what body language? You can go to my site and go to the pregnancy session, and there's 10, 15 videos of women telling you what they said, how they said it, and what the result was. You have to negotiate a salary. Women are sharing their actual experiences because it's very easy for people who are confident and outgoing to tell you what they would do, but what does the introvert do? What does the older woman do? What does the younger woman do? Every one of us has a different set of experiences. So we are populating that site now, and it officially launches in late October with all of the content. But I knew that it was exactly the right thing for me. I went to an event with my husband, my new husband. Just got married last year. I went to an event with him and met
wait, just a minute. You got an old husband hanging around in the closet or something?
No, he's just brand new to me.
I mean, did you pick the husband off the rack? You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, okay.
I was absolutely. I take 2 P's. No, this one is fine. But went to an event and met one of his clients. Had just hired a new employee, and she was a young woman, probably 23, 24, really bright and doing amazing work. And she asked me what I did, and I told her that I was working on this site, and I wanted to create a platform where women could help other women navigate these difficult situations that impact them professionally. And she gets tears in her eyes. And I was like, oh, my gosh, why are you crying? Did I say something to upset you? She said, I don't have anyone. My friends work at the Limited. My mom has never had a job like this. I literally have no one that I can ask these questions. I have no place to go to get insight about what I should do and how I should handle these situations. How do I control a meeting? How do I handle a coworker that keeps stealing my ideas and presenting them as his own? How do I handle unwanted male attention in the office? There's kind of not a safe place to discuss those things, not really. And the power of video, being able to watch it on your own schedule, in your own time, whenever you feel like it, is, I think, going to be really powerful. So my hope is that we're starting small now, and by, the end of next year, we'll have thousands of videos on there of women sharing what they do and giving us a chance to watch them work.
Now, to be clear, what was the aha moment?
The aha moment was when I talked with that young woman and she got tears in her eyes.
That's when you knew it was for you.
I knew that I was on to something that was going to really be powerful and really impactful in the lives of women.
Okay. Now, what circumstances or people challenge you in having your business and the difference you make exceed all expectations? What are you doing to overcome those obstacles?
That's a really interesting question because there are quite a few circumstances, right? I'm an older woman. I'm in my mid-40s. So am I supposed to have
Oh, my God. Go get her a cane and a shawl.
Well, for tech companies, I'm over the hill. As an African-American female that is not 23 in tech, I definitely stand out in a crowd. They always know when I'm there. And that can be intimidating, right? The tech community is its own kind of closed culture. And it's difficult to penetrate and to get resources, investors, technical partners. That's been an interesting part of this process. But it's not enough for me to call it an obstacle, because I think the biggest thing in all of this is controlling the limit that I place on myself, right? If I think I don't belong there, then they'll think I don't belong there. If I act as if, then I'll be a part of that community. And you have the power to declare who you are and where you fit and where you want to be. And all too often, we opt out. We self-eliminate. They don't want us here. We're not welcome. I felt uncomfortable. I tell my daughter all the time, if somebody was sitting behind you at the Beyonce concert, and they were saying, "Get up, give me those seats in the front row. You don't deserve those seats. You're not supposed to be here." I said, would you get up and give them your seat? And she always says, "Of course not. No, I'm not giving anybody my seat." And I was like, that's how I feel about my entire life. Every place I want to be, I step right in there with confidence, because if I want to be there, I claim it for myself. So the obstacle is it's not ever outside of me. It's always inside of me, of where is my ceiling, and where do I create a space for myself. I don't allow other people to be my obstacle.
Wow. And just one quick share, because Miss Cookie was in the technical field for, I think, over 30 years. And I have a funny feeling if anyone had ever said that she was over the hill, they might have got a cast iron skillet upside their head.
And they would have deserved it.
Yes, because she was a technical programmer, systems analyst for over 30-some-odd years before she decided to get a master's. Now, would you be willing to share a disappointment that involved working with others that just still has you shake your head?
I think that sometimes we have a desire to utilize vendors in the African-American community almost solely because they're African-American. If there's an opportunity for me to utilize them, sometimes it's just because, and I think that I can honestly say there have been times when I haven't done my due diligence. And in my quest to kind of bring other people along, I've entrusted them with responsibility that they just weren't able to execute. And that's always disappointing, right? When you trust somebody, you put your confidence in them. You know, it's really, really powerful. It can be discouraging, and it can become a new truth. And you have to be careful that, well, you know, I'm not going to work with any more black companies or small companies or women-owned companies because it's always drama and it's always whatever. I resist that. That's not really the appropriate response. The appropriate response is I need to always vet the vendors that I use, no matter who they are. And I have to have a minimum requirement of expertise and skill and knowledge. So my disappointment, while it's easy to put it at their feet, I really put it more at my own feet because it's intellectually lazy to just pick a firm because they're black or because they're women-owned. I have to do due diligence. So that's a place of disappointment that I've experienced that I work on every day to eliminate that disappointment.
Hey. Well, on the flip side, would you please share a specific moment where your efforts and the memories of the work you and others did still brings a smile to your face?
It would have to be this project of Watch Her Work. It has been incredible how the road has really come up to meet me. I've had people from all walks of life. I've had people from huge companies reach out to me and share their resources and their platform with me. I just have had a really incredible groundswell of support that has really meant the world to me. I don't think I could do this without that. It's, you know, we talk a lot about having confidence and believing in yourself, and that is definitely true. You definitely have to have that. But there is nothing like a powerfully supportive community. And I smile every time I think I have a hurdle, and I just kind of put out the call to my warriors and my champions, and they always come through. There's always a ram in the bush. And I'm loving this process because I'm getting to share it with so many supporters.
Now, Denise, we could talk forever, but it is time to hear from our listeners. Quiet Storm, what do you hear over there in the ethers?
Well, Ronnie B., we do have some voices from the ethers materializing, and these are our listeners writing in to let us know what they think. Now, this first message, this person writes, the theme for the show was totally on point. Bring good thoughts to life. It fit perfectly with your guest. Miss O'Neill was too deep. Glad the interviewer slowed her conversation down. I didn't want to miss a word of her sharing. It was too rich to just blow by. I love Miss Cookie. Her inspirational words are always right on time, and those recipes are cool. You folks were a little rough on the performer this week. I thought Karen Cobb was pretty good. Smooches to Quiet Storm. She is smooth. Love her. That was from one Michael Tallman. Michael, we so appreciate your voice. Our second voice from the ethers. Now this person writes, Dear Onay, I know how it feels to think you have a husband who will be there for you through thick and thin. I was devastated when my husband left me after he found out our child was autistic. He avoided us like the plague. I was young and confused. Fortunately, a man who I had known for years poured his heart out to me and said he would love me and my child always. We've been together for 18 years, and he has been my rock. God sent me an angel. I was in tears listening to you share how God sent you an angel. I pray you and your husband joy I have had these years. You deserve it, sister. I love the interviews, especially the one with Shani. She is an amazing talent. Listening to her doing the interview really made me think about how great everyone is on the show. You ladies and Ronnie B got it going on. That was from Celia Gerardo. Thank you, Celia. We really love it. And we have another voice from the ethers coming into view. And this person writes, wow, I was touched and moved by the sharing from Monet. I was hanging on every word. I was glad that Nakia got her to slow down so we could really appreciate her being and what she had to deal with. The interviews are always amazing, and it was perfect. The ladies were in charge this week. That made it extra special. Those nice words were from Deborah. We'll love you too, Deborah. Please keep it coming. Ladies and gents, those were our voices from the ethers. Shani, take us to break.
Well, coming up next, the finale with Denise Hamilton, Food for Thought and the Prosperity Work.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE61 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE61. That's FREE61 at AdamandEve.com.
Welcome back. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money. We do it all with love. It is time for the finale. Quiet Storm, take it away.
Thank you so much, Shani. Man, Denise, it has been a really special treat having you on our show. And I just want to thank you for sharing. The thing that really stuck out to me about your share so far was the experience that you took us through with your daughter. Because even though I don't have any children, I can really get that you had to really stay focused on what was most important. Or, you could have gone off in a million different areas that, might have added to her discomfort. So I just really want to thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Now, my first question is, what challenges do you see kind of lurking in the waters that will slow you down or maybe even take you off the path from having your own businesses succeed beyond expectations?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I always think of my biggest challenge as myself. Organizations don't grow beyond their leadership. If your leadership is small-minded, your organization can only grow so far. So my big challenge, and a challenge that exists for all of us, is to keep growing, to keep pushing, to just keep excelling and not settling. That way I can take my organization to its maximum opportunity and not be the reason that it doesn't grow. Sometimes we can have a great idea and that idea just kind of vanquishes and languishes rather because we don't have the right people at the helm. So I want to make sure I'm always the right person at the helm and that I'm challenging myself by exposing myself to different people, different technologies, different mentors, different resources, and constantly growing. There's always going to be a challenge lurking in the water, but you can handle anything that comes your way. If there's one thing I learned from the experience with my daughter is you can survive anything. You can accomplish anything if you're focused and you put your full weight and energy and power behind that activity. So the commitment to continued growth is what's going to help you master and overcome any challenge lurking in the water.
Mm-hmm. Well, Denise, can you please share at least two pitfalls that you've seen people fall into when it comes to being consistent in their own actions, especially for growing their careers, their wealth, their health, or just their well-being?
This is an excellent question because we all have them, right? We all have these challenges, and the number one that I see in people's lives and the people that I counsel and mentor is we have to have a little bit of comfort with discomfort. We kind of want everything to be too squeaky clean and too easy and too nice and too perfect. We love our AC and we want to drive 2 blocks to go to the supermarket. We are a nation and a culture that loves comfort. All creatures love comfort. The problem is nothing good comes easy. Everything is going to be work. It's going to be challenging. You're going to get in situations that maybe you're not welcome. Maybe you're taking somebody's job, or you feel like they feel like you're a threat to them. There's limited resources. There's only one promotion. There's only one slot. We're not often comfortable with discomfort. It's why people don't work out. Oh, it's hot. I don't want to get sweaty. I don't want to mess up my hair. But guess what? If you don't tolerate that discomfort, you're not going to get the prize. So I think that just really working on building more grit and more acceptance that it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to not like this right now. It's okay to work hard. We have kids dropping out of college every day because, it was too hard, it was too boring. People dropping out at junior year. What? Like, you're almost there. Get over the hurdle. Just keep climbing, keep pushing. And too often, we're not doing it because we choose comfort over excellence. And I just want to encourage people to choose excellence. The second pitfall that I think is self-care. Building, growing, excelling, it's hard work. It takes a lot out of you. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're eating well. You're taking that vitamin. You're making time to go to the doctor. You're exercising. You're resting. You're making sleep and self-care a priority. It's a pitfall to think you're just going to work, and you're going to push this boulder up the mountain. No, that's not really actually how it works. Time spent away thinking and relaxing, stepping away from that problem so you can come back with clarity and determination is powerful. So I think people sometimes fall into this pit of just working in their business but not working on their business. They're not strategizing. They're not thinking bigger because they're caught up in the minutia. So it's really important, I think, to have a strategy for how you're going to care for yourself, and you're going to stay strong so you can tackle any challenge that comes your way.
Well, Denise, can you share with us at least one practice that you use daily to keep yourself in it on the results that you intend to produce?
I look at my goals every day. And some people think that's excessive, but it's how I live my life. I have multiple businesses that I run, multiple clients that I'm interacting with, and my professional ethic doesn't allow me to drop balls and to not execute. So I have lists that I pour over every morning, And at the end of each day, I put the information on those lists so I can make sure I'm focused and I'm putting the first things first. It's easy to have a list full of things that don't matter, right? Pick up the dry cleaning, pay the gas bill. Those things feel super, super important, but they're not the things that feed your dreams. And if you're not careful, they will crowd out that urgent kind of in-your-face minutia, will strangle that little seed of a dream or a business that you have in your heart. So I really make sure I spend time looking at my goals and figuring out small steps I can take every single day in the direction. Otherwise, they don't really happen. So I would have to say lists and clearly demarcated goals and reviewing those on a daily basis.
All too true. Well, please tell us, what do you have on your plate, and how can our listeners learn more about the projects and activities that you're involved with?
Well, we are furiously filming Amazing Women. If you are an amazing woman in the Houston area, New York, Dallas, LA, Miami, or Atlanta, please drop us a line. Go to watchforwork.com and send us an email and a contact. And we'd love to schedule some time to film you and hear what you've got to say. Very shortly we'll be setting it up that people can send in their own videos so that they can be added to the site, because we think just because you live in Nebraska or Missoula, Montana, it doesn't mean you don't have something to say. I think all too often all we hear is from people on the coast, but there's a whole big country in the middle, and we want to hear from you. So if you've got a perspective or advice that you want to share, the beauty of our site is that, you can kind of give one time and help thousands of women. There aren't a lot of things you can do that have that kind of reach and impact that, is so respectful of your time. There's also a way, don't feel bad, there's definitely a way for men to be involved too. We have a section on the site called What's With Her, and it's where men can send in their questions that, they want to ask, but they don't necessarily feel like they can ask. I have a coworker that, whenever we have a conflict, she cries. What's up with that? I don't like to play golf either, but I have to learn. Why does my female coworker think that she doesn't have to learn? And I think it's powerful when men really share the struggles and the challenges they really have with women in the workplace. So there's plenty of places to plug in and get involved. So drop me a line at Denise at watchforwork.com, or just through the website, send me a note and stay in touch. Keep an eye out for the official launch at the end of October, and we hope that you'll be a part of our community of women helping other women.
Wow, Denise, I can't see why anybody would want to miss out on that. Well, we really want to thank you for being on the show and being really just so clear and dynamic. And again, I just want to thank you for being on Grow Your Mind and Money, and definitely we want you back again on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a real delight.
All right. I think I smell something quite wonderful coming up. What special dish does Ronnie B have whipped up for us on Food for Thought?
Well, I think I'll take over that segment. Sorry, Ronnie. Food for Thought. Eventually, it will. You don't have to get the desired results from every single effort, Nakia. Even if just a small percentage of your efforts pay off, you can achieve spectacular success. There's no need to get dejected when you take an action and it fails to produce the results. Ooh, I'm talking to myself. Just do it again and again and again until it does bring a positive, valuable outcome. Often, the way to succeed is to fail enough times. That dirty word. The way to get it right is to get it wrong enough times. Ooh, another dirty word. Those who enjoy the most success are also those who have endured a lot of disappointing results. Even when you fall short of the goal, you're closer to that goal than you were before. Certainly, there's no reason to purposely seek out disappointing results. But there's also no reason to let them get you down, Nakia. An action I see I can take for myself. When it comes to the theme, eventually it will, is to step back, release, and breathe. Allow myself to accept the possibilities of the disappointments, the failures, and the situations that don't turn out exactly the way I think or I thought they should have. Accept the imperfections. Make the decision and continue and return to acting in a positive way and maintaining my positive self and finding the positive out of the negative and pushing forward. No matter what appears in front of me, whether realistically or self-imposed. Removing the defeatist attitude. Ronnie B., over to you for the prosperity work.
Oh, it really is for me. Thank you, Nakia. Having good thoughts manifest your desires. Believe, and eventually it will. What you speak is what you will reap. Your thoughts can be created. You are not the victim of random thoughts. Putting your focus on having good thoughts consistently will create a momentum of good thoughts that you can use to dissolve obstacles and build integrity. The work. Create a list of 10 good thoughts that you want to consistently pop up in your thinking that will keep you in action, fulfilling your desires. Each day, say your list aloud in a mirror repeatedly until you are moved, touched, and inspired by the person in the mirror. Say this affirmation daily. I am not my mind. I have a mind, and I choose to have my mind creating good thoughts. Share your list with at least one person daily and invite them to participate. And remember, demand a miracle.
A world of peace and prosperity, one listener at a time. Until next time, grow your mind and your money, 'cause yeah, it's a beautiful thing